July 21st, 2026 marks the day that Black women have to work all of 2025 plus 2026 to catch up to white men. So, what that means is they have to work a year and a half just to catch up to what white men had to work in 2025. Hence, they get paid about 63 to 65 cents on the dollar, depending on what study you look at. So, women in general are making less than men, but Black women on top of that are making less than white women.
Hi, my name is Chantel Baylor. I am the founder of Speak Peak Shine. So I teach the youth, entrepreneurs, and alike confidence through the power of sales. So I spent 15 years as a corporate sales woman, an executive account executive, and really found that being in sales and being a Black woman usually meant I was the only person that looked like me on teams. I was the only person that looked like me in boardrooms. Yet I was able to do my job very well, and I did it by just being my authentic self, being keeping an alignment with trust and integrity and helping people and being a solution slayer. That was like my kind of go-to thing. And just being good to people from an authentic place. And that's very rare to find in sales. So I grew a very large following of loyal clients from my old corporate jobs, and just found that the more integrity and the more authenticity that I brought to the table, the more people wanted to work with me.
You come from big corporate and you became an entrepreneur like I did, and all of our Hera Hub sisters did partially to fight this.
I've never really talked to anybody about this, really. My experience of being a Black woman in corporate America. One of the big reasons why I left towards the end was I noticed that they were hiring more white men, which was fine, but they were asking me to train these men without any type of adjustment in my pay. And when I remember one particular day when AI was kind of new, and one of my trainees, I guess, asked a question, and I said, ask AI, or was my answer, because I'm like, I don't get paid for this, so I'm going to give you the answer that serves me at this moment, which is, ask AI. And a higher up colleague basically got mad at me for not properly training him and actually walking him through the steps on how to do this. But it wasn't my job. And unfortunately, what I've noticed about being a Black woman is a lot of assumptions that we are here to serve in a capacity that might be different than a white woman or any other woman. I'll walk into a corporate event and people will come and ask me questions about, like, where's the bathroom or where do we sign up, and I'm like, I don't have a badge, I don't work here, but something about my appearance of being a Black woman seems that I must be the help. And so when I found out in court, when I was training those boys, those men, they finally decided to give me a raise. And it wasn't because I was working hard, it was because my pay was so much lower, even though I had been there the longest, even though I was one of the highest ranked in the state of California as far as my sales. I was the lowest paid person on the team. And the only reason why I was given a raise was because the guy who I was training, that was his pay, his starting pay. So then they decided to bump me up to be equal to him. And it was a eye-opening experience, especially considering that white man who I was training, who was making more than me, had no experience in technology, telecom. He came from real estate, complete. I mean, it was baffling. And when I realized that not only was I felt like I was getting I was getting played in my face. I was getting extracted for my knowledge, my labor, and I wasn't getting paid for it. So I took a leave of absence, and I never looked back at that company because I was like, you don't value me. And so I think that's the issue, is a value issue. One of the main things I probably got out of corporate America that I teach my students, or that I teach anybody who's taking my workshop, is a closed mouth don't get fed. That's probably one of my mantras of life, because if I wouldn't have spoken up for myself in those corporate spaces, I would not have gotten the opportunities to advance when I did. I wouldn't have got the opportunities to lead projects or lead organizations. So I learned that when you fade into the background, especially as women and especially as Black women, you quite literally will fade into the background. So my a closed mouth don't get fed is another way of say speak. Use your voice. Say something when you see something. You can still be eloquent and speaking up for yourself without coming off as the evil bitch, or the, am I allowed to say the
Yeah,
B word?
heck yeah. Absolutely.
Okay. I'm like, so because I've had
Yeah,
situations.
because let me just can I underline what you're saying? Because a man speaking up is never gonna
Never.
be called.
Oh, he's
Yeah,
so strong. Oh, he's got such strong
exactly.
opinions. I will give you, and do I have enough time for a little story?
Yes.
Okay. So I worked in a call center, and it was my job to take disconnect calls, right? And eventually they changed it where sometimes we would get transfer calls, but eventually they anyway, long story short, I could tell who was sending me calls. This white male colleague sent me a call that was not supposed to be in my queue. It was not supposed to be in my queue. So I messaged him kindly, just little tippity tap. Hey, buddy, you sent this call to me. I think per the meeting we just had last week, you're not supposed to do that. Just moving forward, please don't send calls to the queue like this. Fast forward, maybe like 2 weeks later, I was trying to get advance in a promotion for another job. And my manager told me I wasn't qualified because of my brand. I said, my brand? What do you mean my brand? The exact words. I said, what do you mean my brand? He's like, oh, remember when you told so and so not to send you those calls? I said, yes. Well, so and so came into my office, took his headset off, threw it on the desk, and said, you tell Chantel, don't ever talk to me again. This is the man. This is a grown adult man throwing a hissy fit about me calling him out for not doing his job. And I don't get a promotion because of my brand. My brand.
Unbelievable.
It's crazy, right? Um,
Unbelievable.
and so those type of situations happen all the time. And
Yes.
I wish that was an isolated situation. It was not.
Yeah.
Where a closed mouth don't get fed ended up hurting me, but in the long run, it showed me that I could be the right person. I could be
Yeah.
doing all the right things, but there are powers that be, like this man. He actually got promoted many times after that.
Yeah.
Him throwing his headset hissy fit, not a problem, but me calling him out threw
Yeah.
off my brand.
Yeah, I was late 20s, maybe 20, 27 or so. My counterpart, I was working in a marketing agency, and I found out later he walked into our boss's office and said, what's it going to take for me to take your job? Right? Those were his exact words. And I found this out kind of through the grapevine. And at 27, it would have never crossed my mind to walk into my boss's office and utter those words, right? But what our boss thought of it was, this kid has gusto. He's got
Mm-hmm.
balls. He's
Yep.
ambitious, right?
Yep.
Never would have crossed my mind, right? But it's the way, women, we're not taught that, right?
Right.
We are not taught to say things like that, to walk
Right.
into our boss's office and, I mean, good Lord, throw your headset across.
Could you
It's like
imagine? Could you
ridiculous.
imagine?
No.
Oh my gosh. And I always say that's the type of confidence. I want to
Yes.
walk into a room with. I want to be as confident as a mediocre white man and and just take over the world with that.
Yes.
And that honestly, being able to be in those rooms and seeing these things and seeing what these men can get away with really opened my eyes. And I said, you know what, Chantel? It's time to start being a little more strategic and start thinking like a man and start acting like a man in ways that are acceptable. And then that's where honestly corporate and me we began to clash because
Yes.
I felt like the more authentic I was and the more genuine I was, corporate didn't like that. You know, they want someone to fall in line and, feed the beast. And I couldn't do it anymore. Yeah, I had no more headset to metaphorically throw.
We
I
just
just
go create our own table, gosh
We
darn
go
it.
create, yes, down to the linens, baby.
We don't need their table.
Exactly. There you go. And it's so true. I mean, Hera Hub is a perfect example of like women empowerment. Ever since I started Speak Peak Shine, every single opportunity I've been given, every one of them has been because of a woman,
Yeah.
a white woman, a Hispanic woman, a black woman, like women helping women. It's so important, especially in corporate spaces. I remember, really having quite a bond with the girls who were in my sales team because we all were kind of feeling the same way. And
Yeah.
one particular girl, I remember she would always start her sentences before she would speak in a boardroom with, "I'm sorry, but
Oh, oh,
I'm sorry, but." And
the
yes,
minimizing words. Please, can we pause on this and just touch? Thank you for bringing this up, Chantel.
sure.
Like, truly, 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 the minimizing words. I've filmed so many videos on this because it is so important. If we could just solve this one problem by
Mhm.
striking the minimizing words out of women's vernacular.
Get rid of it. It serves no one. It serves no, especially not us as women. It serves us not at all to dim our light, to fade in the background, to minimize ourselves. And the crazy part was she would start that sentence with "I'm sorry" and then say the most like eloquent like why did girl. And so I pulled her to the side after that meeting and I was like, you we gotta stop saying "I'm sorry." And she didn't even
Yes.
realize she was saying it. It's so
Yes.
ingrained,
Yes.
so it is powerful for me to, I'm like, if I can catch these women when they're in high school, middle school, college, and let them know like, hey, the word you speak is powerful. You can't,
Yes.
so that's where the Speak Peak Shine comes, like shine, baby, burn their eyes.
I
Shine as
love
bright
it.
as you can because the minimization, you're putting you're seeding doubt in them. Like, what does she mean? Sorry, you're giving them a blanket reason not to trust you, and it just
Absolutely.
get rid of it.
Just little.
Yeah.
Sorry, let me just
Let,
share this little idea
uh,
with you. Oh
Oh,
my
little
gosh.
is, oh, that's my, ooh, look, and my dad, I love my dad. We're very close, but a couple of times he hit me with the, "Oh, how's your little business going?" I said,
Oh my God.
"The dad, I love you, but ain't nothing little about this."
Seriously.
And he had to apologize because even, you know what I'm saying? So it's like this ingrained thing, and and I see it a lot with, me as a black woman. It's people
Yes.
don't expect me to be a business owner and a homeowner and just all these things because of stereotypes that have absolutely nothing to do with me. So when it comes to shining, I don't allow other people's perception of me to stop the way I shine, or, and I teach that to my students as well. What so and so eats doesn't affect your body, or how you use the bathroom, or what they do doesn't affect you. So why does it matter? Do you shine and be bright, take over spaces, be excited when you get into those rooms, make them remember you, wear a color that stands out, look people in the eye, give a firm handshake. Like, I cannot tell you how many people are surprised by my firm handshake. I'm like, did you expect me to give you one of these? Like, here, this is not a princess hand. Like, let's shake like business people, you know? So yeah, it's been a learning experience. Definitely.
I love it. I love it. Such great advice.
Thank you.
Last question. If folks want to hire you, how can they do that? How can they get in touch with you?
Yes, yes. So I'm doing one-on-one mentoring to help people with their sales strategy and just getting a baseline if you need some help with that. If you are a school or middle school or after school program, I have a 6 week and 3 week workshop where I teach Speak, Peak, Shine. I work with entrepreneurs and small businesses as well, just getting them more confident, getting them to feel more present and giving them the authenticity and the permission to speak and to peak and to shine. That's the whole point.
I love it.
And eradicating, stop, no more fear. We're not afraid to be seen. We're not afraid to shine. We're not fading into the background. We are not sorry before we say important things. Yeah, so speakpeakshine.com. Check me out. I'm on LinkedIn, Instagram. Yeah.
I love it. Thank you so much for your time, Chantal. Love the conversation.
Yes.
Love what you're doing. Thank you for empowering women and the next generation. You are doing amazing work.
Thank you, Felina. I really appreciate being here. Thank you.